Hi guys, how's it going?
Good to see everyone. Welcome to another Playfulverse. David, it's been a while since we've done one of these, hasn't it?
I can't think of the last time we did one, so it's high time we did another one.
Yeah,
Thank you
been too
all
long.
for joining us.
Yeah, no kidding. It's exciting to see everyone here joining us on Twitch and YouTube, and we might even have our Mixer follower joining us. I'm not quite sure.
Yeah, our one Mixer follower who chimes in.
I hear we may be able to double the size of that audience, though, with not very much effort.
Right.
We'll have to see.
Right.
We just asked one of our friends.
I could go log in right now.
Yeah.
And then we have achieved our goal.
That would be really cool.
Yeah.
So welcome everyone. Playfulverse is the live stream series where we jump into public worlds on Creativerse, primarily the one called Playfulverse, and actually there's a whole new set of worlds that we're going to check out for the very first time.
New
That's
Playfulverse
right.
worlds. Tell me more.
Well, let me tell you a little more about that, David. Thank you for asking. So, a while back, probably a couple months ago, something like that, our very illustrious community moderator, Mr. Remy D, said, hey, you guys, our existing Playfulverse world is getting really, really busy. Why don't we spread the love and start a handful of new worlds that folks can also join? That way, things aren't quite so crowded, and there's plenty of new open space for people to come in and participate and join. The world doesn't fill up all the time. So there are now 4 new Playfulverse worlds. You can search them up on Creativerse. They're all created by an account called A Playful Guy, and I'll show you one here in a moment when we hop into the game. And in fact, we're going to check out one of those. And so to launch those, Remy D hosted a contest on our forums where he asked folks to submit a blueprint that would make an awesome kind of starting zone for the world. And so each one of the new 4 Playfulverse worlds has a unique contest-winning, award-winning starter zone courtesy of the community and all our awesome builders. And so we'll get to check some of those out today and kind of see what's going on.
That sounds great, Stephen. And people are active in chat, so I'm going to keep an eye on your questions and call out anything interesting that I see.
Yeah,
so
thank you very much.
Catch my attention.
Yeah.
If you can.
All right. Oh, yeah. And we're going to make a call out here. We're not very good about doing this, David, but we're going to start being a lot better about it. We're saying, hey, if you're tuning in to Playful, seeing when we stream, why don't you give us a follow if you're watching on Twitch. If you're on YouTube, give us a subscribe. And join. That way you'll get a little notification when we go live, and you'll never miss another Playful live stream. Pro tip, typically when we have a nice juicy new Creativerse update going out, we will launch into a live stream and show it off, and so you can be among the first to know what's new in Creativerse if you're following us and get those notifications. So, little plug.
That button, or is it like right over there?
Yeah, I think it's right on over my head. Kinda.
I don't know where it is on YouTube, but
let's assume it's kind of there or something.
Maybe
seems about right.
There.
Yeah, one of those.
Yeah. Let's just see how crazy, how insane we can make our camera. Blur focus.
All right, I'm gonna have. It's not doing it.
You did the magic touch.
Yeah. Okay. So let's hop over into the game here. We'll do this number here. Hello, hello. And I'm here in the main menu. So what I wanted to show off is that I'm going to be joining this world, Playfulverse RW6. RW is it's not a term that the Creativerse team ever created. It was adopted by the community to describe the different map templates that you can get when you start a new world in Creativerse. So that's different maps with different arrangements of biomes and different things to explore. They're all similar in composition, but they have their own unique details. And so folks kind of figured out which one was which and gave them these unofficial names. And so this Playfulverse is based on the RW6 map. So let's hop in, first of all. We're going to come... Oh, I have to do it on the actual game. I'm going to hop into RW6, and we're going to take a little look around, and we can, later on in the stream, hop into some of the other ones and check out those cool loading in zones as well, those kind of starter areas. Oh, we'll probably have to teleport to the starter area, because I on my own time, I joined into Playfulverse RW6, and I claimed basically my own private island that I can build on, and no one can bug me.
Hello to everyone around the world. Tignis 2099 is in Italy, where it is 8 p.m. So hope you get some good dinner. Or if it's not 8 p.m., if it's breakfast time. Hope you have a good breakfast. We just finished having lunch here, and we are ready to dive in.
Do you remember the chat hide all? Is it chat hide all?
Ignore all?
Ignore all. Let's try that. There we go. We just want to keep be paying attention to your comments on Twitch and on YouTube. So sometimes the world chat gets a little distracting, so I'm going to go and hide that from my screen. Also, it's confusing because it's kind of half hidden behind David's camera on the screen, so better to have that cleared out. So I'm here at my home base. I built myself a cozy cottage, the new blueprint that was in the last update. I'm pretty fond of this little blueprint. It's a nice basic starter house. So if we take a look at the map, I may have gone a little crazy with claims, but essentially I just claimed this whole island that I found. And we'll see it a little better during the daytime. It's got some tundra, it's got some swamp, it's got some forest, some coastal. It's a cool, and then I got some kind of snowy area here. It's a pretty cool little island, so I'm pretty happy with it. But we want to go check out to spawn, I guess is the area where you spawn in. That would make sense.
Yep.
Or else the comic hero spawn is waiting there for us.
Let's see, Val Gav asked if there would be a European Playful RW world someday.
You know, that's a tremendous idea.
That's a good idea.
I don't know whether Remy D has, I guess if you're asking, that means that these are all US. But yeah, we definitely have a strong, like really vital, vibrant EU community. I think we absolutely should have one. So I would bring that up with Mr. Remy D, who is kind of, read the rules, who is kind of running the show in these new Playfulverse worlds, and see what he thinks. But I think that's a tremendous idea that we totally should do. All right, that is a lot of rules. I'm gonna revisit those later when I really just need to know kind of what to do.
That is literal walls of text.
Yeah, let's just pick one rule and we'll make sure we
You know,
follow
one of these
follow.
days, this might be an interesting way to read a book. Like if somebody just wanted to write a novel and I had to kind of walk through a hallway in Creativerse to read it.
Yeah,
It could be the new Kindle.
it could. I think there's something to that idea. So the one rule I'm going to follow is keep touchstones open. This is a public server. Claims cannot be messed with. So, all right, I'm going to always keep my touchstone open. So now I can say I am rule following because I'm following the rule. So this is
The one rule you bothered to read.
Yeah. This is a pretty cool welcome zone, I gotta say.
This is great.
So we're using kind of a variety of blocks here that really work together. What's our floor? Adobe bricks, the runner-up in our Block Madness tournament. You know, some of our team Adobe bricks folks are probably hanging out in chat right now. We got some really kind of cool limestone details here, concrete, and this nice basic block. And I love this kind of sort of open sky that's using, those look like ruddy Adobe windows maybe, or ruddy stucco windows. Some weepwood leaves, some wildflowers that would give it this really cool kind of natural look. How to space claims. This looks like Minesweeper, right? Like if you say, okay, there's 3 bombs, whatever the rules of Minesweeper is, I forget. The numbers in the grid tell you like how many bombs are touching that, and then you have to guess. So maybe that's what that's referencing. I'm going to assume that was about Minesweeper.
Yep.
Yeah, I love these rotated windows that give you a cool semi kind of transparent ceiling there. I also use those walls and dividers. Really cool. Very neat. So this, if you like this starter zone, you think, hey, that would look really good on my world. The cool thing is all of these are available as blueprints because they were all submitted as blueprints to the contest that Remedy ran. Okay, so we've got northern, southern, eastern, and western outpost. Well, let's go east. Let's see what it's doing. Check it out.
Let's check it out.
Curious what that means.
Olek FX is trying to get our attention by saying hello multiple times on YouTube. Typically, I look for questions to answer.
Well, to be fair, Olek FX did write hello with a question mark.
Did use a question mark. So, hello back. But yeah, if you have a question, feel free to ask it. Or if you want to just tell us something interesting about your day, I might call it out.
So I like this. I went through the teleporter and I came down and I found another rule. So this one is an
hidden
addendum to
rules.
the existing rules. Do not harvest tree trunks or terrain randomly all over the. So it says randomly. So as long as I have a method to my my tree trunk harvesting, then I think I'll be okay. Keep the scenery pretty.
You just have to document it somewhere. There's a documentation to my harvesting pattern.
Yeah, it's going by like the Fibonacci sequence or something. Okay, so this is, I think what this did is just plopped us down. We'll see where we are in the world. Yeah, just over here. No, here we are. Over here in the east. So it's not a specific place, but it's kind of, if you think, I want to travel up towards the north or east, get a shortcut to doing that. That's pretty cool. So I got on Steam, when we posted a thread saying, hey, we're going to live stream, a couple folks said, here are some things that you can check out. And coincidentally, a couple of them were here on RW6. I don't want to just focus on this one because there's 3 other cool Playfulverse worlds, and I think we can check those out. But one I got was from Bardicus, a long time kind of active Playfulverse player who we checked out several of his builds, I think. Let's see.
Thank you guys, by the way, for sending in those recommendations. We always like to check out, stuff you want us to check out, because that's what this Playfulverse worlds are all about.
Yeah, for sure. And I'll never get tired of these new loading screens. Love this one particularly. This is a really excellent one. It's got it all, really.
From Leaky Noob.
Leaky Noob.
Shout out.
All right, so we are. Where's the wrong button? So now so what this is supposed to be, according to Bardicus on the forums, is a giant, enormous maze. So let's kind of look at our, zoom in on the map and see if we can get a picture. So it looks like we're here in an area. I don't know if it's all above ground. And Bardicus did say that they're still working on it, so why do I keep missing? All right. Oh, I dropped something. Let me pick it up.
Adora, one of our moderators, pointed out that spawn area we checked out was created by Boaturk for the contest, and then the interior and ceiling was an added blueprint by Lucky Sheep.
Oh, okay, awesome. Thanks for calling that out, Adora. I'm super happy we can give credit. So I think that here we're on the precipice of the maze. This is quite something. So I think their intention is to finish this out and then get it published as an adventure where they can disable lighting and kind of any sort of cheating to get through the maze. So this is, I'm not going to give you a big aerial view, maybe, well, yeah, let's just give it a little view. Well, let's just jump in and see if we can find anything. Something we learned when we were judging the Adventures contest, maybe last year, is that mazes in first person, when there's no kind of details or clues, can get pretty, you get lost in them and really just give up all hope pretty quickly.
Yeah, it takes a little bit of special care to create a compelling maze that people can get through. Fabio Bispo on YouTube is asking for you, Brainsloth, to personally add more quests so that he can win coins. He or she can win coins. So Brainsloth, would you personally add some quests so that people can get more coins?
I don't know that I will do that immediately, anytime in the near future. What I can say, something that's really cool about our quest system, this is a little kind of behind the curtain, but we implemented it in a way that we can really easily add quest content. And I mean, it doesn't even necessarily have to be tied to like a major release. We can kind of, through our development portal, kind of just add those almost live to the game, add a new quest.
Like really easily?
Really easily.
Like maybe too easily. Like if I'm not careful and I sneeze in the wrong direction, I might actually add a quest.
Yeah, you might.
A sneezing quest.
So that's something that's really cool about the system, and we are absolutely, I think I lost the maze. We're absolutely intending to continue adding quest content. We think it's really cool and exciting. One of the things that we want to try to make sure we've solved is make sure that new players understand that there's a questing system and start to engage with it. That's going to be really important, because once you're in Quest, you get exposed to all these really cool things in Creativerse. You start making blueprints, you start exploring different biomes, and taming and farming and doing all these fun things. But we got to make sure we're getting our new players into questing. So that's probably something that we're going to take a look at in the future too.
Like Rebel Redneck 46 on Twitch says, he'd love us to add quests for higher level players, and I think that is something we probably do here in the future, because as Brainsloth said, a lot of the quests are really about, we focused first of all on stuff to kind of help newer players just experience all the cool stuff that's in the game, but Absolutely. I think that is something we're planning on doing, adding higher level quests.
Yeah, I'll just say stay tuned for that. There's if you're looking this quest system along with kind of some of the cool stuff we had related to our seasonal events really gives us a lot of cool tools and things to play with when it comes to adding additional content. And that's all I'll say about that for right now.
And hey, there's Leaky Noob in the chat.
Hey,
hello,
Leaky
Leaky
Noob.
Noob.
We just saw your loading screen.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think I've successfully just wandered in this maze. At this time in real life, I was starting to get tired and just kind of want to nap, I think. So
You'd have a lot of steps on your pedometer, though.
yeah. So we had one additional comment on our forums from Hobukistan, the creator, the person that shared that awesome knitted or crocheted QB that we shared on
That was amazing, by
our
the
social
way.
media over the
We
weekend.
love that.
We love it so much, and so we shared that on our Facebook and Twitter pretty recently. So came courtesy of Steam user Hobukistan, and it says, "If you should drop by RW6, that's where we're at. Check out my stairs to corruption in my house at Touchstone KH." Well, let's look at KH here. Let's do it. So we're looking for stairs to the corruption. We also hear that the community farm is pretty awesome. So a couple more cool things to check out in this world. And then I'd like to jump to one of the other new Playfulverse worlds. Check out another kind of one of those load-in zones areas, starting areas, and maybe then we'll check out some more stuff. Okay, we're looking for. If I was a staircase to the corruption, where would I be? Oh, we may have discovered it. We may have done it. I see stairs. Let's see. Well, this is nice.
I mean, it's definitely stairs to something cool.
This is the stairway to the corruption. This is it's much more like pleasant and welcoming than I would imagine.
Right. Almost like they're trying to trick you into going into a very dangerous place.
Right.
Which the corruption most certainly is.
So let's keep in mind that we are kind of underground here. So I don't see stairs down. Maybe I gotta jump. Oh, here we go. So we're heading down. So now the terrain is or the build is kind of switching to stone, which is cool because I gotta figure we're in the fossil layer or near it.
Yeah, Hobukistan said it is inside the house, so I think you are getting closer.
Yeah. Let's keep looking. All right, we're exiting the fossil layer. I think we'll be getting close to the stalactite layer. That's right. So I do like how these builds kind of reflect the different layers of the game. Now we're seeing iron and mosaic, which uses kind of adobe, that mud that you see in the stalactite layer, the mineral water.
A really cool idea.
Yeah, really fun. And this is a lot more work than I expected. If I build stairs into corruption, it's going to be dirt or just whatever the natural terrain is made of.
One by one.
Just one by one. Yeah, just narrow enough to fit a character. We get into the lava layer. I can tell from the build. We got hardened lava walls. We got some these super glowing hardened lava floors and those furnace walls from the furnace premium set. Bunch of diamond.
And it's getting warmer.
Getting warmer. But now we're getting down to the bottom. Lumite slab, lumite walls, and the shattered lumite. Cool premium set. Very cool. Corrupted stone wall, I think.
Yep.
Here we are. And so, I saw a door. Well, you see a door like this, you just have to go through it.
Do you though?
Ooh. Let's turn that light. I'll be nice and I'll close the door, so.
They weren't kidding. You are now in the corruption layer.
Yeah. There are no creature comforts out here. This is all just. Well, that's really cool. I'm glad you called that out for us to check out Hobukistan. I really enjoyed seeing that build. I love how you did that. It was a lot of work, I can tell.
Yeah, that's
a lot of excavators of it.
Oh yeah, that's very inspiring. And of course, the nice touch here, elevator, mineral water elevator back to the surface is always great.
So, all right, I think that's all we had on our plate too. Oh, they said a community farm. If there's let's check that out. Let's see what's doing in the community farm, and then we'll go check out RW6 7 or something.
Rabbits o nosy? Rabbits o nazi. When is the loom added to the game? I want to make clothes. Yay! You know, it's funny, we actually, before we launched Creativerse, there were a lot more stations. Not just the processor and the forge. There were, I believe there was a loom where you crafted armor. And in fact, there were almost too many stations, and that's why we took them out, just to kind of simplify it so it wasn't quite so complicated. But yeah, I like that idea of just making your own clothing. Kind of the way players make their own, you know, with arc signs, they can make whatever they want. Yeah. Imagine walking around with like whatever you want, like just, you know, a poster of your favorite movie. You're just walking around with it.
So I'm noticing, I think this is because, so we know that vines, you can climb on them. And so we have some vines here that are rotated sideways, and so kind of doing some climbing action as I walk on them. But then when you get off of a ladder or vines, you kind of get your character gets a little boost to make it up on the ledge. And so I'm encountering that boost as I walk around, and I started to fly into the air. It's pretty fun. I'm sure this is the intended use of this fence here, just to just launch myself. So here we're in the community farm. We got some cactus here, growing some flowers, some coral growing on this mud. I like these farms because these are kind of not the farming system per se, but just things that have their own kind of growth mechanics. Beeswax growing on these leaves, and then over here we do have our kind of farming area where you have to use your plow and stuff.
And Jasmilia, to answer your question, any recipe that you buy in the store will go with you into other worlds. But if you buy consumable items like a set of blocks or a set of arc stones, and you claim those in one world, they will stay in that world.
Yep.
So it just depends on what you buy. Some items will stay with you and they're tied to your character, and some items, when you redeem them, they're tied to that world.
Yep. Your costumes, for example, those are always account bound.
Yep. Costumes stay with you.
Speaking of costumes, where my gun here. Be a little fancy. All right, so this is cool. There's a lot of potential. I mean, we got some big open space here. I think we're just over the ocean. Yeah, there's a lot of room to add more cool stuff to this community farm, but definitely a very useful area where you can kind of stock up on those basics, or if you enjoy farming, you have somewhere to go do it and kind of smell the ocean breeze as you're here in the middle of the ocean. So let us exit this world.
What does that ocean breeze smell like to you today, Brainsloth?
Well, it kind of smells like rockster shells that have kind of washed up on the shore, getting a little warm in the sun.
I love the smell of rockster in the morning.
Rockster rocks that have just kind of washed off. All right, so we're going to do, and if you're looking for where these Playfulverse servers are, you just do a little search for Playfulverse. The ones you're looking for are, this one by Brainsloth is the original Playfulverse world. Then we've got, these are the new ones, RW5, RW7, 8, and 6. So these 4 that are coming up in the square here are the official ones. You can tell because they're created by a playful guy, which is Remy D. He's helping us out by running these and getting them started.
And he is a playful guy.
He is.
I can verify that.
All right, we're going to go to 8. I like the look of 8 here. I want to see what's doing with this entry area. So this one is, trying to see if anything's different as far as, low gravity on this one. So.
Nice. While you're joining that, Red Bull asked an interesting question. Can you tell us about a block type or a game mechanism that you've tried internally that hasn't made it into the game? That is an interesting question, and I'm trying to think, because there is a lot of stuff like the loom that we have tried over the years that hasn't made it into the game. I'm trying to think of a good one that some of them still may end up in the game, and they're kind of on the back burner, so I don't want to like spoil the surprise right now.
Right.
But actually, funny you should ask, quests and QB were ready probably a year and a half ago, and well, I say ready, they were built a year and a half ago, and they weren't ready. They just weren't good enough yet. And so those sat on the shelf until just, 2 weeks ago when we added them in our most recent update. So yeah, there's a lot of things we're continually trying in the game, and as we update the game, which we're going to continue to update the game, some of those things that we've been toying with for a while will come online. So yeah, I don't want to say too much because we've got a lot of cool stuff in store. Maybe Brainsloth, can you think of anything?
So
any old mechanic?
And I get your reticence to kind of call these out because inevitably when we say, "Oh, this didn't make it in," someone says, "That sounds amazing. Why isn't that in?" I don't want to create frustration or disappointment.
That's the other thing, right?
I will say when the current player character, I'm talking about this guy, was added to the game 2 years ago, something like that. There was a version where you could see in your kind of first-person view, you could see the character's left hand.
All right.
You remember that? And it resulted in if you can see on camera, you were kind of walking around like this, and it has some cool visuals tied to it, and it looked really cool.
It showed you what you were holding, right?
Right.
The block you were in your hotbar.
Yeah. So if you're placing grass blocks, you would see a cool glowing grass block in your other hand, and when you switched them, it did a little cool animation. But we play tested that with our sneak preview players. That's the kind of thing, if you are a sneak preview player, you might get to try out. We found that for a number of reasons that wasn't the right thing for us to do, but it was something that we tried out. So I'll call out that specifically. I don't think that that's necessarily likely to return at this point. You never say never, but that's something we can call out that
here's another thing. Woody Smith, one of our animators, was working on a new and improved farming plow that had some grinding gears on it. And if you go back about a year and a half ago on our Twitter feed, I actually tweeted out a GIF of it. It was really cool, and it never ended up making it into the game, and nobody called us out on it.
I've heard maybe one of our sneak preview players, I think LV Gamer, every once in a while was like, "Hey, what happened to that?" Wow.
Yeah, we didn't get around to that. I want to do a quick call out to Heath Haskins over on YouTube chat. Brainsloth, can you hand me that right over there?
Oh yeah, I know what you're.
He was asking about this, and so I did want to give a shout out.
Yes, thank you.
So the Trolliverse group, who did a series called Trolliverse a while back, we chatted with them. They're friends, and at one point they were like, "We want to try your other game, Lucky's Tale, but it's in VR. We don't have a VR headset." And so I found one of our old DK2 Oculus units and said, "Hey, we'll just send this to you guys. We don't really need it anymore because we have all the new versions." So they took it. They actually sent it around to, there's several in the group. So this thing has been sent across the world, and they sent it back to us with, oh, I'm sorry, I'm messing up your keyboard.
You're all good.
They sent it back to us, and I don't know if you can see here, but they have all signed it. Mumzing Gaming, Boogla, Dig Dug, Code Primate, Heath Haskins. That was really cool. We did get that. We really loved seeing that, and just loved seeing that you guys all got a chance to try it. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed it, and thank you for sending it back. This has been sitting over here on the shelf between Brainsloth and I, and we enjoy having it there. So
yeah, the day it came in, one of our someone here in the office came to me with a big package, this big heavy package. Said, "You're Brainsloth, right?" I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Well, here, this was addressed to Brainsloth. I think this is for you." And I opened it, I was just like, "I have no idea what this is." And then we saw the story of it, and David reminded me of what that was. So really cool. It sits here on our little display shelf right next to us.
I hope you guys did get Lucky's Tale to work with that and had fun with it.
Yeah. Lucky Classic. So I'm checking out, this is just a little mini spawner. We got different biomes here. I think what's happening here is that some of these creatures are getting sent over here to drown in the water, and now we've got some loot bags piling up. Let me see if I can fly up there. There's some glass. No, I missed. That was impressive. All right, let's try again. Hey, we just got a little loot. Just a little loot.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit of loot that's been piling. No, just a little loot, not much.
Now you're gonna have to spend all this time in this world to use all that loot.
I know. Okay, let's see what we got. Leafy leaves, awesome troghorns. Those are very useful. Frail pixie fur, pebbles, which I could forge into rocks if I felt like it. Lizard chisel gizzard, very helpful for cooking, baking. Also tusk, so a bunch of, and then a bunch of some plant life too. Looks like some flowers and stuff. Where did I get those? I don't even know where I got those. Blabagoo. All right. I love builds like this. I mean, this is just takes all the various mechanics that exist from AI to kind of spawning and growth and loot and machines and fans and everything you can make, and makes it all work together to create this really efficient. As long as you don't think about it from the creature's point of view, that's getting teleported into a little block of water so it can give up its bag.
Yeah.
So as long as you don't think about that, it's very impressive and nice. Okay, so we checked out this one.
Poor creatures.
Yeah, so this is another one of these Playfulverse worlds. I recommend that you, if you're thinking of joining one, these are cool public worlds that we will be visiting over our streams, and also, yeah, I want to go to the original Playfulverse. Because I got one more suggestion from Mr. Meatball that we should check out his submarine. Let's go there.
Apparently, Dora's letting us know that mini spawner is by Entiland?
Yeah.
And it is in the workshop as a blueprint.
Yeah, so if you want, there's an endless supply of leafy leaves and true tails. Build up blueprint. I think you just search up Entiland on the workshop. You'll find that pretty quick.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of workshop, I think the build we're going to visit here, Meatball's Submarine, is available as a blueprint. At least I saw some screenshots of it on Steam when I was just browsing around the other day, and I think I assumed that it was up as a blueprint as well. Maybe in a couple pieces, I'm not sure. So we're here in original Playfulverse. Is that how we've seen it? That's kind of one of these kind of biome spawners here. Yeah, we've seen it from this side. Okay. I was just checking that out. Biome Sanctuary, and you guys spawners totally different biomes. But we want to check out Meatball's stuff. So this world's been around for maybe a year, maybe not quite a year, but so it's getting pretty built up. That's the reason we opened up these new Playfulverse worlds. But if you think it's more fun to join an established world where you can really check out some awesome builds, more stuff to explore than you could probably ever do, then the original Playfulverse by Brainsloth is a good one to check out.
Yep. I've got a bunch of land claimed in this one. I should probably just free it up because I'm not really doing anything with it at the moment. So yeah, I'll do that after the stream.
Okay, so we're here in the middle of the ocean. Like there's just a random giant elderwood just chilling out over there, probably blueprinted in a boat in the distance. So we're on the deck of a submarine. And the only instruction we got from Meatball, I think, was don't mess with a nuclear reactor. So let's see.
It's generally advice I don't have a problem following.
We got some controls here, various switches and number plates. Got some trapdoors leading down, so I think maybe we gotta just down. Receive. This is a stubborn. I just want to get down. Receive. That's fine.
It doesn't want to receive you.
It doesn't. I know it's taunting me. It's like, you think I'll receive you?
Ah, there you go. You got in.
All right. So here we are, kind of in a control room. Let's see. A lot of cool details here. We got cool lighting and these crates that are actually bookshelves. We're back here. I'm being very nice, closing all the doors that I open. Being very polite here. Let's sit in the chair. Pretty evil.
Yeah, it's pretty dark in here.
Yeah. Well, I want to find this submarine is pretty big. I want to make sure we're seeing kind of the full length of it. If you want to see kind of more of this build, the screenshot I saw on our Steam workshop had kind of a cross section of it where you had, I think Meatball had just captured half of it in a blueprint or something maybe. So you can kind of see the inside and all the different rooms and chambers in it. This thing is really, it's more detailed than I'm probably showing off, with a ton of rooms.
So Remedy really wants you to switch off the wiring tool. I guess it's bugging him. And then Adora said to check out the main map on Playfulverse 1 at some point.
Just the main map. We can do that. Yeah, so we have a nice kind of spread.
Man, that has a lot of claims.
Spread of claims here.
Looks like there's still room though.
There's still room. So here is my base. I know it's in blue. That's my original base, and up here I have where I built those turtles several Playfulverses ago. Here in the snowy area. I think over here is kind of the welcome area, but there is a ton of room. You're right. So if you think of what this really represents in terms of space, I mean, maybe there's some ocean there, or it's kind of but in terms of space, that's a huge chunk of space. Because each one of these tiny little dots is really a 64 by 64 claim, and then there's just multiples of them. I mean, because of how massive the map is, there's actually a ton of space left in between these other builds. As long as you're following the rules about not claiming like right next to someone and leaving some room, there's plenty of space to get started, I think. All right, so I'm gonna turn on my flashlight. I didn't want to spoil the mood, but I think we're missing kind of some of the detail.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of detail here.
Yeah,
that's cool.
So really cool stuff. I recommend checking out if this is a blueprint. I recommend checking out the blueprint, giving it a shot, or else at a minimum, I know there are some cool screenshots in either the screenshot or the artwork section of our Steam community. All right. Oh, I dropped in here. Well, found the limestone. So.
Somebody on YouTube said to check out Lobsang, the Lobsang home, Lobsang.
Well, let's do it.
So why not?
Why not?
And yeah, as we get towards the end of the stream here, if there's any other areas in this original world you want us to check out, let us know.
Yeah, we're definitely just kind of taking it easy and wandering around these worlds, but if there's stuff you specifically want us to check out, let us know for sure, or things you think we can do in maybe different worlds, or stuff we can check out in future episodes of Playfulverse. We're going to do these pretty regularly. Yeah, let us know. All right, so so I already like this because this is built into like these mountainsides, which is just hard. I don't seem to have the skill to build in a way
that takes talent.
Yeah, takes advantage of the contours of the existing terrain in a cool kind of creative way. So we come here, we got these natural stone paths, very cool.
So this is Estrella Solar made this recommendation. So thank you, Estrella.
Yeah, but I definitely want to check out this cool building. Should I, Chizard? Should I?
I can see him nodding. So
yeah, Chizard's saying yes.
I think he's allowing it.
Yeah. All right, so we're kind of here in the base. We got the weapon rack. I'm missing that incapacitator there. Welcome to the library. Man, this is a library. This reminds me of the library on the original German Knights world, one of our kind of earliest major public worlds. They had this massive library that at the time would really just tank the game performance because of how the game handled all those bookshelves. It does a little better with that now, but welcome to the library. Very cool. Oh, there's a lot to check out here. Top Mountain House. Arena Gun. I want to see an arena. Oh, maybe I gotta travel here.
And on YouTube, Joanna Ratino said, awesome build to everyone. It's so amazing to see how talented Creativerse players can be. Jojo. I completely agree, Jojo. These streams are like some of my favorite things to do when we stream, because I'm always just blown away by the amazing creativity. I think we've said it, but I'll say it again. Our players inevitably find ways and uses for stuff that we put in the game that we had no idea beforehand that it could be used that way. So
Yep.
I think we're seeing some of that here.
So here's kind of an arena that was built during the Pumpkiro's candy event from last Halloween. And so this was a place to place down those idle items that would start an event, start a battle royale with these different cool ghostly creatures. So our players, yeah, this is a perfect example because all that we put into the game were these events and these cool items and those creatures and stuff. Then players realized, hey, to fight these efficiently, I really want this kind of flat area with walls up so that things can't wander too far, and started building these unique arenas to handle that gameplay. So all these cool arenas and areas kind of came to be based on just those basic building blocks that are in the game. I'm just flying around here because it looks like there's a ton of cool stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like that jet.
Yeah.
I like the castle too. So this is, are we in I want to call out. Yeah. Check out this castle real quick.
Rabbits and Nazi is calling you a grass hoarder.
I do have a lot of grass, don't I? Why did I have all that grass? I forget.
Why do you have all that grass?
What was I gonna do? I was, so last time I was playing on this world, I wanted to build in the canyons. And I think I realized I wanted kind of some more flattened out grassy areas in the canyons. So why I have like 2,000 grass, don't ask me. It's related to that, I think. Cool, so this is a cool castle. It needs to be furnished, pending furnishing.
But move-in ready. Rip Brainsloth.
Always. It just happens. It can happen to anyone.
But mostly to Brainsloth.
It does mostly happen to me. So very cool. So I think probably I'm going to spawn far, far away from here, and I think that's okay. I'd rather just log out now and forget where my death statue is, so I can't even teleport there, and it'll take me 30 minutes to retrieve it. So
yep. Somebody else is going to come by and claim all your grass.
They might. Well, they can have it. So let's go ahead. I think we should start to wrap up. I'd love to hear if there are any remaining questions, anything that we can talk about. Other than that,
while we're waiting for those to roll in, want to give a call out to our sneak preview group. If you are interested in testing out stuff that we're working on as we put it in the game, you can get access to our sneak preview servers. I think do we have an active one right now?
So there's not an active one right now. So the most recent one was the one for the Questing with QB update. So you can imagine we had our players testing that for quite a while because that was such a big update that required a lot of testing and iteration and improving on those quests, balancing things out, making sure that your quest progress saved when you went from one world to another. There was a lot to make sure that it all kind of just worked.
And that all sounds like work, and that's stuff that we do, but while we're doing it, you're more than welcome to just hop in and check out what we're doing. So if you want to do that, join our sneak preview group. You can send an email to support@playfulcorp.com. I'll paste that into chat here in a minute.
Yeah.
And I think you were going to give a shout out about something else.
That's exactly right. So on that note, something we're always trying to do, we have such an amazing community. Our team and our studio are really proud of our community that we've built up on Steam, especially for Creativerse. If you go to Steam forums across a bunch of different games, your mileage will vary, and sometimes you can have a really great experience, and sometimes things are a bit of a wild west. And we are really proud of our Steam forums, and part of the way they can be so great and so welcoming is we have this awesome team of moderators that are just community members, just like all of y'all, but they are happy to, they volunteer their time, and they're part of kind of this inner circle of community members that help us out when it comes to moderating on the forums, just making sure that things don't go out of control, moving a thread if it needs to go to a different forum or something. And they're really just invaluable to us as a team. I hang out all day with them in our Discord channel and make sure that they have all the support they need. We really appreciate them so much. One of the ways we want to show our appreciation is getting them some help. And so if that sounds kind of interesting to you, to to just really be, if you love being part of the Creativerse community, it's your community that you love to hang out in, and you just want to kind of take a greater role in your community, give us a shout. I think step one to that is make sure you're in our sneak preview group. That way you can be into our Discord environment and kind of, we can start the conversation. So join our sneak preview group.
Yeah, that's a good first step.
Yeah.
Start there, and if you're just loving it, and you're loving the group, and you're loving the vibe, and you want to just do even more, then we'd love to have you. We'd love to have you join our team.
Yeah, we try to make it as low pressure, but also as fun as possible for those folks. I'm talking about Adora and Julia and I now started naming Kool-Aid and Auntie Lynn's and Remy D kind of helps me, make sure they have all the support they need. And we try to, but it's a fun way to kind of be more involved with the game you love to play, or if you love this community, and kind of hear about
Leaky
something.
Noob calls it the Playful Illuminati.
Playful, that's exactly what I'm trying to get at, Leaky Noob. So if that sounds fun to you, make sure you're in our sneak preview group, and just ping me on our Discord channel once you are, and say, hey, that sounds fun, and we can start the conversation. But we'd love to get those folks a little extra help, so that way when they feel like, hey, I'd like to take a 5-month vacation, I'm getting a little stressed out, no problem. We can have plenty of folks that are all participating to help keep our community really awesome and welcoming and just the best one on Steam.
And thank you, Joanna Rotino, who I'm still not sure if I pronounced your name correctly.
Sounds right.
She said, JoJo said she will be sending us an email to be considered for a moderator, so thank you.
Sounds excellent.
Awesome.
Love to
Look
hear
forward
that.
to getting that.
Yeah. All right, so if there aren't any other questions...
There is one other thing. I think we need to just display your fun QB animation again.
Let's do it.
Because you worked hard on that, and I think
did.
it's very fun.
Come on back, QB. So,
hello.
hey, are you about to go? Wave at us, QB, come on. All right, so you have to listen to QB. QB, is sending you on a quest. It's a quest to follow us on Twitch and subscribe on YouTube. So that way you always get a little ping when we go live or when we upload a new video about Creativerse or even one of our other games. You're just in the Playful inner circle, and you just know at all times what's going on. That's the most important thing.
The outer rim of the Playful Illuminati.
Yes.
And on the update, there it is again. On the update streams, we do giveaways. So
no, that's totally true. And so
even more reason to subscribe and follow.
Yep. You earn some sweet loot. That's the loot from the quest that QB is sending you on, is the giveaways. All right, folks. Thank you for joining us. This was a lot of fun. It's been too long since we've done one of these, David, and I'm happy we just jumped into the game, played around a bit, and we
let's do another one again pretty soon. What do you say?
Yeah. So for a little. Next week, the team, I think, is planning not a full update. This is going to be one of these mini updates with nothing fun in them. It's all like under the hood networking stuff and infrastructure and architecture that goes into the game. And so in the middle of the week, at some point, we're going to have one of those releases that doesn't feel like a release. So I don't know. We may or may not.
I'm going to try really hard to not tell any of the engineers you called their work nothing fun.
Well, I'm sure it's only fun for them, Mike and Jeremy and everyone. So just what I meant is it's the most fun possible is what I meant to say. And so we're gonna have this extremely fun under the hood, no new game features.
No player-facing features.
Yeah, nothing player-facing, but engineer-facing. It's just you can only imagine how fun it is. Yep. So that's gonna happen next week. We may or may not live stream with that. I'm not sure. Since there's no new player-facing stuff, it's not necessarily super fun to hop in the game and say, here, let's check out this nothing that we've added.
If you guys think we should live stream it anyway and do some giveaways, let us know.
Yeah, maybe we just have to do it.
If a lot of people say we should in chat, maybe we'll consider it.
Yeah, we'll pay attention to that. So, still up in the air. So that's going to happen in the near future. And then I think following that, probably the next Steam update, well, let's just say it'll be significant, I think. Might be significant.
Might be.
So we'll leave you on that note. Thanks everyone for joining us.
Yep. Thank you guys.
This has been a lot of fun, and we will see you all next time.
Have a great day.